Hello, everyone. It's Brittany, and today I am going to be talking about separation and the fact that there is none. So what I'm going to do, as I usually do, I will share a bit of a story of something that happened to one of my clients, and then I will go into kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today. So I've been working with someone for quite a while, and he has been wanting to manifest his SP. And this particular person is his ex-girlfriend. And when they had broken up, she ended things. And in his words, it ended really, really badly. It was a whole dramatic breakup with lots of things said. And he just felt really, really heartbroken over it. And I started speaking with him after he had been trying to manifest her back for, I think he had said around like 5-6 months. And so we started talking and, he was kind of just getting more familiar with all of these things, all of this understandings of the law and who he really is, honestly. So long story short, as short as possible, he was having a hard time, like, just leaving things alone in terms of the 3D world. And I continued to explain to him that you're not going to find what you're looking for out there. And if you want to experience something different, you have to go within. And we're going to talk about all of this. But he was like, well, I know, but this is what's happening right now. Her social media, she's following all these guys. She blocks me and then she unblocks me. Like, all of these things that are going on, truthfully, that mean nothing, that are all keeping him glued to a storyline that he no longer wants to be experiencing. So I explained to him, like I've told you guys before, if you want to experience something different in your movie, in your 3D experience in your life, then you have to change the channel, change the movie, put a different movie on. And what that means is stop trying to change something that you don't want. Stop trying to change a reality that is already done. It's finished. It can't be changed. Leave it alone, remove your attention from it, and give yourself a different experience. Choose something different. And he said he was trying, and it was just really difficult for him. So in any case, we got to this place where he started feeling really defeated. And he was like, I'm having all of these thoughts that tell me, like, you're stupid. Why do you think this is going to work? Like, who even knows if this law thing is really real? All the kinds of thoughts that most of us experience. And he was like, I really want to give up, to be honest. I just can't do this to myself anymore. I'm driving myself crazy. I can't do it. I want to give up, but there's something in me that won't let me. So what do I do here? What do you suggest? What's your opinion on this whole thing? And I said, okay, let me explain something to you. I absolutely want you to give up, but it's not in the way that you think I'm talking about. So I asked him this question. I said, if you didn't know anything about manifestation and that breakup happened and you had no idea that you could get her back in manifestation world, what would you be doing right now? Would you still be looking at her on social media, trying to figure out what she's doing, who she's talking to, what's going on? Or would you have moved on by now? And he was like, well, I mean, yeah, I have respect for myself. I definitely would have moved on by this point. And I said, okay, so why are you not moving on now? And he was like confused. He was confused by that question. And I said, look, manifestation is not holding on to something, grasping onto something, attaching yourself to something, and holding on so tight that you refuse to let go. That is not what manifestation is. And that is not going to get you what you want. So yeah, I do suggest that you move on and let go and live your life. But what I'm saying when I say let go, I mean let go of the trying, the struggling, the fixing, the trying to problem solve, the looking in the 3D world to see what's going on, and then using that information as some sort of validation or proof or lack of proof for what's going on with you and if you're doing it right and if you're in the right place. Stop all of that. Let all of that go. And from there, what you want to do is cultivate an experience for yourself. Not even an experience, but cultivate your inner home. Cultivate a place that is so enjoyable, so beautiful, so satisfying, so loving and fulfilling that really nothing else matters. And he was like, well, it feels like you're telling me to just give up on getting back together with her. And basically, I get what I want, or maybe I don't, but either way, at least I'll be feeling better. And I said, no, that's not what I'm telling you. What I am telling you is the 3D world, the 4D world, your inner world, your imagination, reality, it's all the same thing. There is no inner or outer. And yes, guys, I use terms. I use 3D. I use 4D. I use within. I use without. I use those words because I want to make it clear to you what I'm speaking on. But really, the thing is, when I say go within, I don't mean inside of the physical body. I mean within your awareness, within your consciousness. Everything exists within you. Everything. The universe exists within you. Your SP exists within you. All things that you want to experience or you're experiencing right now all exist within you. So when I say go within, I just mean put your attention and focus on things that make you feel good, whether it be in your 3D experience or in your inner world, inner experience. It doesn't matter. But like I said, cultivate a place for yourself where your focus is on all things that feel good, all things that make you happy, all the things that are fun to think about and to focus on. And it does not have to be logical, because he was like, well, I try to do that, but when I focus on us spending time together, like I'll have thoughts pop up telling me like, yeah, right, this isn't real. She's never going to come back. Like she told you she doesn't want to even speak to you again. And I said, it doesn't have to be you guys spending time together. That doesn't have to be your main focus. What I'm saying is get yourself to a place where your dominant state of being is one of fulfillment, satisfaction, love, enjoyment, happiness, whatever it is. Your state of being, who you say you are, your identity, the way that you experience your life is the way that the 3D will reflect back to you. And it's not a literal thing. So when I have people tell me, like, I visualized this happening and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It did happen in a different way, but it didn't happen in the way that my visualization was. Well, it's not about the visualization. It's not about the words. It's not about any of that. It is about what state it puts you in and what it implies that it is true for you. That's what I'm saying. So again, you could simply just focus on, unicorns and butterflies for all I care, if that feels good to you. You could focus on being I don't know, I was going to say a motocross racer, but I'm like, I don't even think that's what it's called. Whatever, it doesn't matter. A famous basketball player, a celebrity, a fairy, it really doesn't matter. It's not about the actual experiences that you're giving to yourself. It's about the experience itself. It's about the feeling it puts you in. And I don't mean emotional. I mean the state that it puts you in. So when we have different forms appearing in our 3D experience, it's not those things that give us anything. We feel and enjoy experiences within. Again, remember, there is no out there. There is no separate world outside of you. So when you guys come to me and say things like, I have been doing this for X amount of time and nothing has happened. And I know I've been doing everything right. I've been living in the state. I've been living in the wish fulfilled. I've decided it's done, but I still don't see it. I still don't see it. I still don't see it. Well, I can tell you right now that you haven't been doing that. And how do I know that? Because if you were, you wouldn't even be able to perceive anything but fulfillment in your experience. Yeah, guys, that is the truth. So moving back to my client, he was finally ready to give up, so to speak, and really just focus on cultivating a place that he fully enjoyed so much that was like exciting for him every single day. And he did. And he had a really good time. And in fact, after about 2.5 weeks of this, he went to go get some drinks with friends and he ran into his SP. And she actually came up to him and she was telling him all of the things that he wanted to hear from her. All of it. And he was like, I didn't even focus on those things. Some of those things I never tried to affirm for. And I said, I get it, because your desire is promised to you in the moment that it's there. So when you're in that state that allows you to perceive things in that way, it is right there available to you. But what we're doing so often is we are insisting that it isn't the way that we want it to be because we're looking outside for some sort of validation. And then we cover up or mask and hide what's already right there. We aren't able to perceive it. So when I say it's all there, you're everything, you are all things, you have it all, that is a fact. But it's all depending on you and what you're allowing yourself to perceive. And the way that you perceive what you want is by giving it to yourself right now, seeing yourself that way, living your life that way, not waiting for a 3D reflection to show it to you or validate you, because it can't, guys. So he was very, very excited about the fact that she started talking to him and saying all the things that he wanted to hear. And she said she wanted to give their relationship another try. And of course, he was so happy. But, and this is really important, guys, and this is the whole point of this video, he spent the next I think it was around the same amount of time, 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks. They had gone out twice in that time. But for the rest of those 2.5 weeks, they were just, interacting, like talking on the phone or texting. And I didn't have a session with him during that time. But when he came to tell me what had happened, he was just like, I've completely ruined everything. I've ruined everything. And I said, well, what's going on here? He said, she's the one who wanted to start the relationship again. She's the one that was so happy to see me and to reconnect again. And all the entire time that we were back together and interacting and spending time together, I was so scared. I was so anxious. I was so nervous. I was literally just focusing on all of the things that she was doing, trying to decipher what they meant. I was focused on her not doing things that I wanted, like she wasn't texting me when I wanted her to. Just every little thing that was going on or wasn't going on, I was so focused on. And she came to me and said, I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm not ready. Like I thought I was, but I'm not ready for this right now. And, I wish you the best. And he was like, I can't believe this happened. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do now? Like, I have no faith in this anymore at this point. And I was like, look, I'm going to be very real with you right now. And I do say this in tons of my videos, and I say it in my sessions with you guys, but when I tell you that this 3D world is not going to give you what you want, I'm being very serious. Now, yes, whatever it is that you want to manifest, you will. You absolutely will. You will experience all the things that you want to experience. But no matter what, no matter how many things you experience in your life, no matter how many amazing things you do and enjoy in your life, it's still not going to be enough. It's still not going to be enough to validate you, to make you feel like you're content. It just won't last. And the reason why that is because the 3D world is constantly changing. It's not something to be relied on. So I had given him this example from my personal life and shared it with a couple of my clients. And I said, look, there's nothing wrong. In fact, I want you to enjoy your 3D to the fullest. I want you to be present and love your life. I absolutely do. But I don't want you to make it so important and put it on a pedestal to the point where every little thing that shows up, you are questioning, you are wondering, you are trying to figure out, why is this happening? What does this mean? What did I do wrong now? What's going on here? How do I fix this? If that's the way that you're living your life, it's going to be such a struggle. And I had used this example with him. I said, look, I'm married. I love being married. I love my husband. We are best friends. We just have such an amazing relationship. But even though that's the case, do you guys think that every single morning we wake up, we feel exactly the same way? Or that every single day we have the same type of interactions, the same exact experiences? No, of course not. Of course not. And I can tell you right now, if I lived my life based off of 3D validation or 3D temporary forms that are constantly changing, I would be very miserable. I would still be struggling right now as we speak, because you cannot base your state of being off of what is temporarily appearing in your 3D experience. That is just asking for struggle and more to reach and more goals to achieve. And it's like you're never, ever there. You're never, ever fully satisfied. And I want you guys to understand that you're there. You're there. You've been there. You've always been there. There's nothing to reach. There's no goal to achieve. There's no finish line. You are at the finish line. So the whole point here is, again, I'm not trying to tell you guys to stop caring about your 3D experience. I'm not telling you to give it up at all. But what I am saying is take it off of the pedestal. It is you. It is just you. And it's always waiting on you. It's always waiting on you. So start living your life right now, whether that means in your 3D experience, going and doing things that you want to do, or that means you're just living internally in a place that is very enjoyable to you. I know everybody's situation is different. So I'll have people tell me like, I can't go do things because of this, and this. Okay, fine. That's okay. If you can't, you can't. But what you can do is internally live in a place that you like. More than like, live in a place that you love, that is so enjoyable to you that every other option is kind of just out of your focus altogether, because you're filling yourself up with amazing things. So really, guys, I want you to understand and accept the fact that your 3D world is not the end all be all. And in fact, it literally can't show you anything that you're not currently giving to yourself, you're not currently experiencing for yourself. So honestly, Start giving yourself the experiences that you want. And again, it doesn't have to be logical. I don't think I shared this with you guys. I've told a couple of my clients that just recently I was imagining myself as a queen, and all of my humble servants were just praising me and telling me how amazing I am and telling me how valued I am and just wanting to know what they can do to make my life a little bit easier. And it made me feel so good, so confident, so appreciated, valued, and really just safe, because I knew that I was taken care of all the time. And that felt amazing. And then that carried that into my 3D experience as I moved through my day. Now, yes, I went back to a more neutral place because that's how we live most of our 3D experiences. But what ended up happening was my son, who is a teenager, he's a good kid. He's a great kid, but he's a teenager, and I find myself having to remind him to do chores and ask for help. But on that particular day where I experienced that being a queen, he came to me and said, "Hey, Mom, I took the trash out. I finished putting away the dishes, and I just wanted to know if there was anything else that you needed me to do." And hey, I need you guys to hear this part especially. My human self, the identity that always wants to come right in, said, what's he trying to do? What's he trying to get from you? And I laughed at it because I know that isn't me. I know that that's not coming from me. It's just one identity. And I was like, thank you. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel very good. And then I left that interaction and I was like, I know exactly why that happened. It's because today I was giving myself the experience of feeling taken care of feeling valued, of feeling appreciated. And so I had to experience that in my 3D world. Now, was I going to go into my 3D experience and all of a sudden become a queen? No. But that's my whole point here, guys. It's not about the specific experiences you give to yourself. It's about the state that it puts you in, who you say you are in those experiences. So with that being said, my client now knows that he doesn't have to, not only does he not have to, but he shouldn't be looking out into a world where nothing is happening, truthfully. Nothing is happening. It's all just an afterthought. It's a reflection of who you are. And if you're being who you want to be, you won't even be so caught up in the 3D experience. You'll enjoy every experience for what it is, an experience. And don't forget, like I mentioned to you guys before, because you exist in everything, because you are absolutely all things, and your true self doesn't judge any experience. It just wants to have the experience. It wants to have as many experiences as possible. So when you're being presented with something that seems unfavorable to you, it's not an indication that you're doing something wrong or that you need more work on yourself. Not at all. It's really just a representation of the fact that you exist in everything, and you are constantly being offered different choices to choose from. So you don't have to stress out when things might appear to not be what you want, because number one, it's just a choice for you. It's being presented to you. It's something that exists within you. But number two, things are always moving. So one moment it might look one way and another moment it could look completely different. But that's going to be up to you as well. If you look at it and say, oh my God, nothing ever changes, everything's the same. Well, that's how it's going to feel to you. And that will be the only way you can perceive it. But if you say, I don't need to worry about any of that. All I need to do is enjoy myself, enjoy who I am, enjoy my imagination. My imagination is the 3D. My imagination is my inner world. This whole entire experience is being imagined by you as we speak. So please, guys, understand that the sooner you drop this importance of getting these things in the 3D world, ironically, the sooner you will experience them because you're not putting so much importance on them. What needs to be so important when you already have it, when it's already who you are, when it's already a part of you? Just give it to yourself, give yourself the experience, whatever that looks like for you, and then go on about your day and enjoy your life. Enjoy it as much as you possibly can. And even in the times where you think nothing's happening or it looks problematic, well, enjoy it anyways. Enjoy it because you know that it's always changing and moving. Keep yourself in a place where you can see everything from a perspective of somebody that is satisfied, that knows that they're already there. And that is all that your 3D world will be able to consistently show you. All right, guys. Man, I just get to talking and then I do not stop. So I hope that this wasn't long-winded. I just have so much that I want to say on this. And I really, really, guys, I'm talking to you from personal experience here. So I've spent many years focusing on all of the things but the thing that matters, and that is your experience, who you are, enjoying yourself, and being present as often as you can, you know? So yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. I had mentioned in my last video in one of the comments that I have people here working on our house. We're like having some things done here. So that's why I'm not on video. But I think that maybe the next video or the following one, I should be back on camera. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.